Samsu Bagasar. Money. Yangi Mangi on live on Facebook. Gonna see like almost an hour 30 minutes. Wana fa history wow, bo fa sa history mam sa mam bire on ki papi Njaajaan Njaay.
Man kay sumay tur yi sax dañ ma freak out ay fara penda ma jaw xooraat ma ne
waaw fara penda ma jaw xoor mooy maami Kuc Samba Jaw ñoo njëkk a sell out to the white man.
man maa ngi toog fii maa ngi naan waaye Ibu Jallow dafa war a xam ne ñu ngi ci weeri koor te aw ma lof sabaay sëriñ bi Babo lobster be bir face babo suka tagal bir
no tay dama doon tooñ nag waaye I was saying history boo xam ne foo naa ne yow sax benn bés bu ñu waxtaane yow yaa ngi maa wax ne ma sax yow da nga
man the last time you gave me a part of it
yeah.
And it was very interesting.
Yes.
Like how did you get all this
yeah
which was great.
Yes.
Especially sub-region be Senegal area be. I think you know a lot about those.
Oh yeah. Xam nga man dama am benn professor Columbia ku ñu ooyee Mamadou Diouf.
Well, you're telling me.
Wow, Mamadou Diouf mun naa ne mooy the most leading historian especially in Senegambia. And mom he was trained in Paris and for now even his doctoral thesis have been a lot about the kingdoms of Kajor. So mom he is familiar and I talked to him and he was familiar at Nyom say Anta Job and all these people. And it was interesting because some of the things you have man I Nyom Yoroboli Jaw see mom la ko xamé I never know about this guy. But this guy was a very educated, lettered guy, and this was like in 1857. And this man be more been about history of the Senegambian people. Even say Anta Diop, they didn't even know. And the man, yeah. So and it is.
What evolved, out of what we have today.
Yeah.
Into what evolved into what we have today. Yaguta start no 1800 sila start no.
Oh yeah.
And and then finally by 1884, 85 Berlin Conference, we finally divide into what we are today.
Yeah.
Why and the same people, we are the same people. Consult to you when you divide.
No.
When you draw the lines of our geographical living, because certain interest, certain economic cooperation, same cultural identity, anything you talk to him So they may worry Ghana. The same problems,
yeah, the same thing.
Why afterwards, we are the same people, But although not Ibusoko said, "No, you live in tribalism, more politics, politics. We are very tribal when it comes to politics, and it's across the world, everywhere.
Yeah.
You want to side, you want to go along with your own kind, your own, the people who look alike, you talk like you, and so on. And the politicians will exploit that. The unfortunate part about it is when they succeed, instead of spreading the benefit to law into all that, they forget them and look for their interests. Yes. So the history of PPP started, it was purely tribal. Whereby Sada that Jil Dole, if I have to work, and then he created an inclusive government.
Of course.
Why, so that is it. I see the same thing with, Adam Barrow been started, UDP, new control on the narrative of his government. And the trajectory was not very nice.
No.
you know, and because they knew revenge attack, they wasted too much time on trying to, like dismantle the APRC and everything associated with it to an extent where they overdid it. And yaha yu bari yoo xam ne mënoon nañ leen a defar su ñëwoon with a reconciliatory mindset, all right, everybody, will be looking, ku ci ku baax rek mun nañ laa jàppale. Nga bokk ci système. Kon, jafe-jafe yu bari dañ ko doon am. And then li ci gën a funny garaaw itam mooy, ñu dem ba ca digga dañ foog ne mu ngee neex pandémique bi ñëw. Yàqa àdduna si. Léegi li ko gën a garaawal mooy Ukrainian war bi. ñun ñëpp a ngi toog, ñu ngi food a ngi ñàkk a li lee ngi yokk prices yi. It's not Adama Barrow. This is going to get worse. If the Ukrainian war doesn't stop by the end of April, they are estimating that over 47 million people will go very hungry, and countries and African countries and third world countries will be most affected. Dinañ toog so much mburu sax duñ ko mën a am ci dëkk. Waaw waxuma lañ seer de waaye dafa dul am sax. Last time maa ngi jënd olive oil bottle, they used to sell it for $400. Léegi it has gone to $600.
Wow. Wow. That's a huge jump.
Gas, 12 kilogram gas bottle, cooking gas, we are digging. 730 la daan jar. Léegi dem na 1,200. I'm not talking about 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 2 months ago. Léegi 1,200. So things are just skyrocketing, not because of Adama Barrow. It's because of the crisis in the world.
Yeah. I mean,
and ñi yaakaar ne ñoo ñor. War a toog xam ne xeex kenn du ko gañe. ñu ngi yokk arms and ammunition. Ku nekk ngi lifin sa pride.
Yeah.
Right. Gun dealers you get make money.
Yeah, of course. Because you anticipate there is going to be an impending crisis. Mota must start affair because imaginal things started to get tough for the Gambian. But for introduce tribal politics. Lolo moy the end of the Gambia because people will fight to death. Understand nga?
No, they affect a lot of countries in the world. Sri Lanka, look at the government. Import that. Because they default to send payment of their loans. And India, more countries, African countries, a lot of African countries, this will affect them. Fertilizers, I'm going like natural gas. They cause it to get ammonium with this cost to for a fertilizer a lot. You could then across here, basically supply the whole world. So they gonna, you bring stop to grow because I'm fertilizer. So we're talking about in the next year or two, food of I don't know if we don't mind if this war is not stopped. So you so don't feeding ngiro ngaro liko gen moy ñu jappalante ñun ñep nekk ben
wallahi
seet naka la ñoo findé a solution to the expected problem because it is coming te nit ñi nak ñu liñ gëna smartante moy ñi seet ëlëk diko prepare for dan ñi wali la xewon demba lañ leen ko correcté. And that's what it is. Like I won't dimba in your public correct. Never again. Wow, no me, definitely. These are stupid questions like, wow, you're young in the ideas of the stay with Fab young in the Yadan attack Fabak, Adam Barrow, while leaking a common support. Idiotic questions.
Yeah.
Adam Barrow keep Fabak and hey, look, we are a government.
Yeah.
Barrow was part of an opposition party that kicked us out. So we were fighting each other. But along the line, along the way, we realized that coming together is better than you fail forever. and more money pam the maybe is baro. Lam feka cha baro.
Yeah.
Is far different from what they were the idea, the conception they had built around those with him. You know, he found him to be somebody very accommodating, very tolerant, and Lyndon wane ko ye ki très tolerant.
Yeah. So.
Baro stood.
Mane so far they balal mo duguma so far they wane na ngor ya mbamut sek dega man I was very surprised and impressed.
Wow,
Gorla
they wanted him to surrender his rights,
yeah,
his power, his everything, and allow a bunch of nobodies who have not been tested in the job they think they could do best. They've never been tested. Then you take over from him and watch him do it. In fact, for a while he acted like that. He surrendered everything to them. You know, it's not enough. Just get out of this place, and then we will take it from there. So when he said no and put his foot down, you know, he betrayal.
Yeah.
Even you don't cheer. Nan economic Kylen, legi joy attack and economic you know.
But lena wax ne try leen ngeen regularize this situation ngeen normalize ko waaye ñu ne waaw ñun dañ bëgg a start gorilla woo
mane moom laay wax nii
so
you know you don't want to look at economic money, but I know more. You know, I just sit down and wait. You know,
well,
you know, and then you come to see, you know, okay, incident we have with the phony and so on.
Yeah.
You know, and then what happened was it you know, so we say some candidates yep lose APR civil money. They led to a false narrative, ne? No. When they vote them, they will pass a bill, and Jami is coming by force, and then you are coming by force to the cut. See how they gonna do that shit?
Yeah.
You the foot look at your pop in your ham since sophistication is very minimal. You folk Lulu is realistic. Lulu is not. You know, affair bida linga wa rek folk ñu jàppalante postante man day so far content na problème gis mais lim def rek sam du mi doyna man to be honest with you
I'm telling you
Bakari Tombong Jata there you know and ñoom Sidi Ndiaye yoyu man lu rek doyna ma ci système bi
yes
you know and I feel happy ne you know they have fulfilled some of the expectations or most of the expectations Yima Amun from the Barrow government.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and well, munge shock you bari nak ne warutona am why what do you expect? Politics la ni ciow ni yep suñ amone pa Bakary Tombong Jatta legi ak APRC.
Yeah.
They will change that.
But the thing the reality is they even try. Ñom ñep try nañ. I mean, Dahabo try na fa Bakary more than 3 times. Man ay lo xamne xamna ko. Dem na seeti Fabakary waxtaan na ko moom he tried all his best waaye Fabakary is a principled man fi mu téye la téye and he knows
he is.
You know
he is in fact man ko doon wax ka Michael ko doon say manela all right man I started hanging around the APRC executive for about not more than 2 years within these last 1.5 years or so why man I have been attending their meetings. I've been listening to Fabakary. He is very sharp and I'm a good sense of direction on what he wants to do. And Ken Yabuko, understand?
Yeah.
Ken Yabuko. Sutawe nela, Lila Lifin. He could articulate Bopa, Muna La Tigeral Bepare. He's open to criticism and, very flexible when it comes to showing him what is necessary to change.
Absolutely.
But you cannot just be dogmatic. It's my way or the highway and expect him to sit back and say, okay, then go to it. He will get into your butt.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, foog naa ne lim def daal li Barrow def daal loolu man daal kontaan naa ci trop. And I hope it will continue like this. And because xam naa ne daal ñi amoon ñaari xel ci coalition bi yëpp ak ñi ko négociate ñëpp xam nañ ne ñu ngi start a very good am nañ a good start boo xam ne dina yil yu bari and it's better you just give the situation a chance and not when you go by our prejudice. We have prejudice. APRC was bad. Members of APRC were bad, and they can never be good again. I'm going to you get in. Ibu Jallo was not good. He can never be good again.
Yeah.
Sam Sar, he can never be good.
Yeah.
Wow, Sidi Njai, you gave all records of Sidi Njai, you don't want. Time impasse. The key, why do you trust him? If you want to bring all records of what people were saying before the coalition disintegrated, Barrow is our Barrow is Moses, Barrow. I mean, like, that is before the and everything has changed.
Yeah. And after all, politics, politics, everything is in a state of flux. Yo, amulo absolute knowledge. Pour mun foresee lan moy happen in the future. So it's a conviction saying, I mean, if you believe this is it, you say but it's things nga ñi wax ñi condemn ñi nga xamne ñoy defkat yi ñooñu they never do anything duñ wax dara duñ def dara dañoo toog rek waaw pour make people nga def mistake ñu bëgg capitalize on that mistake bëgg la say condemn. I mean, how you naka nga mëna progress
it's just like in 2016 making you mobilize all those big forces coming into the country.
Yeah.
Lolu dama ko joy de len li or man nak dama fogone sa xare dina am ci dekk.
It was likely
because man dama fogone like resistance dina am mota buma degi ne jabe ne mu ga dem why time bu sa wax nañ soldat yi wa na officers bari ci army bi ne len bu len mu sa xelaat sax li bàyyi leen soldat yi ñu dugg si dëkk bi ngeen ubbi ndoose rek ngeen seetaan leen and you said that and when he left Ibu and they came in and Jama all right, dafa change from I was expecting a war to now how do we regularize the presence of these people in this country and make their presence legal. Lulu kenn bokku ci kenn bu ko woon a wax foog naa ne ñu rek a ko daan wax sax naan kii dafa dof kii dafa lii kii dafa lali waaye Ibu ba ma gisee li xamoon biñ jëlee Salifou Sadio xaw ma woon ne mu ngi ci suñ baak yaa bi ak rebel sam yi soo am understand nga ba jël ay economic troops yi sénégalais si rey leen jaxaran understand nga ba pare toog di tëkku sop région bi naan leen man so leen moom moytuwut I will fight to Banjul lii du seen affaire man maa Sénégal la man maa lii ci laa ne nag waaw man I need economic in this country to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, boobu kañ ñu ñëpp la choc
get bandits ne dañoo ñëw ne dañoo whole country ransom. Loolu is unacceptable. Loolu du ko much shy to say it anywhere. Salifou Sadio ñu doon waa Salifou Sadio he was in the backyard there and people knew about it. They were coming in and out of this area di jënd seen bagage di dem foofu di béy seen tool yi yàmbaay di def seen naka la tuddaati di rob di cut the forest. Rosewood be Ibu man I hate that. I don't want the forest to be depleted. Ibu, this is we sustain the livelihood of the whole sub-region. It's like the Amazon forest.
Yeah, I mean,
so man could you the more and lulu same right la put you def is wrong. Criminal situation that including Gambians, non-rebels, sweet businessmen, even bigger so government officials. I am against them.
Yeah.
Alabi dañ ko war a maintain otherwise ñun ñëpp dinañ toog ba taw sax duñ ko am ci dëkk bi.
Yeah, duñ am luñ
so
lekk.
duñ ko fi am.
I'm telling you. And not only that, sir, Sam, xam nga ne there is a multinational effort to build a wall of trees across the Sahel from Ethiopia all the way to Senegal. Xam nga loolu. They're spending billions of dollars.
Know that.
Yeah,
And even
billions
we
of
need
dollars.
that.
You know.
We need that.
So
If there is some kind of industrial development, you know, we are just overcarried by Western civilization and what they look like. Understand that? Why we might not need all that kind of, you know, sophistication or having to build a skyscrapers when we are depleting our forests.
Yeah.
Chinese young men need to my you know, Pakistani, Allah be like hell.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You know, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Understand that? So, you know, and you know, but not lulu tahon, but my gisay limagis. You know about Senegalese, all right, their first encounter with these guys from Fonyi, New Tugabir, Fale, Casamas. They were not going for a fight. They were pursuing loggers. And that is why they caught them by surprise. What I knew, Senegal was going to fight back. In the time, min ko defee rek fekk ñu suñ digi election bi loolu ko gën a garawal rek waaye xamoon naa ni dañ fight back.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
as a commander of the Senegalese private, the commanding you know, chief of defense staff of the Senegalese armed forces, loolu humiliation boobu benn politicien du ñëw wax ma ne ma bàyyil ma bàyyi. I would rather surrender my rank and my position than let them play politics for that.
Yeah.
You gotta sorry. What is the essence of Maneko? What is the essence of, you know, being a soldier? You just like take care of the security of your nation and training your people for that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like Disney, Ukraine, you know, you want to put soldier and you bury it there. That's what soldiers are for. You know, that's my job. You go and die and kill people.
Of course.
That's the job of a soldier. Understand?
Oh, yeah.
So, just like, you know, you volunteer, civilian, you don't volunteer, you don't know a Molotov.
Yeah.
So, okay, right from Nila, fair. You don't even tell them, and you give them guns and let fight them, Russians. They will kill them. Or you can kill civilians.
Absolutely.
It's a war. So we have to be realistic. We are not. So interest how you know, kunekangi como support the one let them children ne. Why I am glad ne President Barrow open na door sami. Be pare ne ñepp la ci welcome. Understand nga?
Yes.
And munala wat len. I'll say gis nga guy ciow ni opposite tanga bi la rek do len ben 6-7 months.
Oh yeah, they will come and also in fact sir lola buga balanga dem rek. In fact I want you to mention about that. The affair, especially this five phony independent candidates belong they belong to Yaya Jah. I mean, hanga so it the politics so it jël certain action for am a clear objective and langa muna achieve with your actions. ñii li ñoo def five candidates yooyu ñooñu lan lañ mun what can they do with an overwhelming MPP coalition in the National Assembly? Even UDP sa ak seen 18 whatever candidates yi am plus independent support 15 plus am nañ fa na one independent boo xam ne most likely dafa is going to caucus with them ñooñu what they cannot stop mënuñoo stop benn bill Munuño pass any bill mu go through. Even say they're gonna when you go there, promote your 5-point agenda. How can you promote a 5-point agenda when you cannot even pass a bill? You know?
And you need a simple majority.
Exactly.
Categorically, simple majority.
More than that.
And they're going to increase that.
Exactly.
If you don't mind, pretty soon they will have 75% of the house
absolutely
under control.
And I think it's very good.
It is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
To oppose government in a third world country.
Yeah, and especially global crisis being in the world.
Yeah,
I
with
mean,
all this in global crisis, yeah, if it is the Western world, you can be an opposition member of the opposition and run a very normal, successful life, like even those who are in the government. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't
in
work.
Africa.
Yeah,
Africa, we all lean on government to so many things.
Absolutely.
And so many issues. So, if you don't want to toe the line of government, be ready for that rough path.
Yeah.
And unless you have a means of standing on your own, and with very few could. Man, lola ko say why man lola rek and man, we see Injai. I was very happy to see him there. Di Malawada yung ko to in 2016. The kabi taw again. No, si Injai taw the kabi taw again. Nyom si Injai nyom pa bakari tombong ya nyom nyip den don wani. Why don't we resort to try to get judges to sort out this problem? Then you need a military force to fight it, which was reckless. Understand me? And when the international community insisted, in fact, economic, like I was saying, economic, rather, you cannot insist with African countries, war must take place if Jamaica doesn't quit. Why? When I was at the United Nations, they were authorizing where that resolution was passed. Understand me? They never authorized it where that resolution was passed. Why you didn't know what to do, and everybody saw when the huge force with all their arsenals the attacks Gambia. It was on social media, and that's what made people run away. People don't let Taulo, it's not necessarily jail in Taulo or anybody. They were running away for their lives. Listen, Bamta Gatam, Jamek is the lead. In fact, they could have told you, but Nigerian plate when you fly over State House. I'm not ready for this idea.
I don't blame Moko. I don't blame.
But he is no Zelensky. But that's the guy. He was no Zelensky that day.
No, Halifa Ababakar, mune mom moy Zelensky, mom.
Halifa, in Europe, he was Zelensky that day. The Gambia.
Hey, that's Halifa Ababakar. Mom tam benen wall la nek.
But that was very interesting. Why? That's what it is.
Yeah.
They were running away from their lives, for their lives rather.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't go into a fight. Even if don't day, you rebels it was a lie. Although now I know that some of them were at the border, they didn't intervene to fight me. Why it was not necessary. And this is what people were talking about at that time. Don't start a fight. If you want to settle this, get some, just like what we did recently, go to the courts. Our judges, why you approve the judges? There were judges. It's just that they wanted Jammeh out, and everybody, the whole world, most of the people did not want him here again. And I always say that, UN, don't laugh a film. As long as much as Amitabh they did not want to see Jammeh again as president in this country for so many reasons. Particularly, when the far fight it's the far right to my aid you. Don't the far hurry, I don't say.
Yeah, no, boom, guy. Panane popular tone.
In this modern world, young Wally Soyinka, writers you in Nigeria, you're probably opposite.
Yeah.
In this modern world, Nakanga Nyuene, you remind me what happened in this 18th century about the witches at Massachusetts, Salem, Massachusetts. Those places, innocent people did nanal ay kube jaranan ay tumale.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, that was very bad.
The fight AIDS, the fight diabetics, the fight what's the secret behind your medicine? Lulu itam was not presidential. Lulu soko amesa, give it to somebody else. You top at all nga talk to background. Why a president did have Lulu jail carry at I cruise the ride in the they really torn off the wall on him.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you like some water than you don't go challenge. Because man Tiganako, even be more of campaign in 2016. One of which a political platform there. So we need the final jackal to my neka phony. He said, if I get out, when to my neka, so we just knew it like jackal. They said, they are not tenable.
No.
You don't do them in this modern world. You don't.
Jilanka, he was mad. The man was.
Why? Definitely, madam, feel it up there. You said what's wrong because Pente Wahu Nyata, I mean, two results.
Yeah.
The election, boo.
Yeah.
Mistake, boo, so go on to all way. Then you no, that's not right.
Yeah.
When we go at your embassy in the UN, that was not right. While Lulu was hidden away from the UN, the Nyari results are why the Maware let bygone be bygone, let Adam Abakinaga, Fabakari, Munge had the same thing. Liku gain alone, more you buy, you give you let bygone be bygone, Jaminyo Nekafi, just like before Neki ex-president time, you treat go like him, treat a one Jawara.
Yeah.
And, we have a new pay, not Munyo and Neka president as Gaya Miliko Gumdo.
Yeah.
The Fanyu and Neka Lulumum is really not.
That's
one thing that nobody should be thinking about. Again, President Adam Barrow is the third president of this country. I don't see any other, so the air Jawara Chapamel, but when you want to continue to turn out.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No, is over. That's Jame is over. As far as Gambia is concerned, Mom.
Oh yeah, and that's what we are working on. One thing on
yeah.
Well, just to make him feel he can come and enjoy that.
Yeah.
Why he doesn't want to do that? I don't think he does.
No, he does because that's not possible.
Forces from Ukraine to kick him out.
Yeah, Loliep is out of fear and insecurity, like so. Say Jammeh, better emulate because he's still. Hanga limota dictatorship bahut, because insecurity and fear of sa niga muje mola push guy def to this extreme things in I uti domaka di jay rewange ka di tiku fi di def yefi dof yi mo def ni it's all because of xam nga nim comporté bopam mota xam nga dafa baax for leadership people ñi nga xam ne outliers like people like Barrow people like ñoom Fabakary Tombong. These people are outliers. They are the exact opposite of Yaya Jammeh and Ousainou Darboe. Ousainou Darboe tam bu gis ni authoritarian la. ñoom ñëpp they are authoritarians. So they can only resort to violence and threaten nit ñi or the use violence or the use kind of force pull impose and bop on people.
Supernatural nonsense.
Or the mystifies and bop. This is what they do.
Suma 6 condorong binjocha.
Money. So they gonna record. xam naa mu ne séeréer yi ñoo ko sàcc suma condorong xam nga joolaay buñ jaaxlee rek dañ dee blame séeréer yi loolu tax baytu laay ne yow
bu fekk America di nga ba annoncé lu ne condorong yi di nga kenn génnul ci dëkk bi ba dëkk yi
no yeah Jammeh no waaye Sam
you know, I honest with you, well, you know, hey, yalla fixes.
I know.
So come ni yalla ñu binda understand ngeen.
Yeah.
Bam ñu binda tàggu ñu fa mu bam ñu yóbbu di ñu tàggu. Dara du la jaaxal ci àdduna si.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, dara du la jaaxal ci àdduna si. You know, so I mean, dara ma dee lu la gëm.
Definitely.
Wow.
Why Sam xam naa yaa ngi oor nag séeréer yi te xam naa ne amuloo lobster fi mu nekk
waaw
nii.
man sax dama war a uti lobster balaa moo li fi mu nekk nii soo moom wat you know time bi ma seet waaye ma ne mu xaaral ma ne wuti lobster
yow gis na baytu yow di nga merloo baytulaay de because baytulaay mu ne yow da nga fone yow rek a dee lekk jën.
ma ne xam naa ne su ma déggee ndox xol laam dinaa daxarité because mu ne man kenn rek a fenee lekkal lobster wax boo dégg genesis of that story ale saam saara lobster lu ko foog ne moom kenn tey moom ma lobster rek waaye dinaa lekk kujale ngeen
walaay waaye sax ma bàyyi la nga dem dog yi am naa ne nekk sona nga you know so yeah
no problem.
Wow, jërëjëf waay. Waaw jërëjëf for your intervention.
It's a good show. You know, I wish you the best. And you ñaanal the government.
Waaw baax na.
Ñaanal the whole country.
Absolutely.
And yàlla jubale xol yi.
Amiin.
Together dem kanam.
Amiin.
Valley bi ñi nga xam ne mënuñu gis seen bët yi ubbeeku ñun ñëpp ñu nekk benn. It's a small country ñun ñëpp dañ bokka. Amiin. Bokka nag to be honest with you.
Amiin. Jërëjëf Sam jërëjëf. Jërë ngeen jëf suñ mbokki déglukat yi my brothers and sisters xam naa ne nag fii la ñoo tàggatoo emal waxtaan wi fii ndaxte weeri koor gi ñëw na te man mii sax digga suma bopp bi door na di métti yow or moom digga ak boole koo wax dafa yombut. waaye xam nga rek fitna bi bugg a jóg Gambia moo tax manit moom war a génn ma wax ndax nit ñi xam seen cosaan xam ne ñi nekk diggante Gambia ak Sénégal ak ba Guinée Bissau ba Mali ba Guinée Conakry ñun ñëpp benn famille lañ benn nit lañ we are from the same genes li ñoo ooyee ethnogenesis mu ngi doon go on depuis the year 300 BC before the birth of Christ. Depuis bañ migrated from Egypt up till today Gambians ñu ngi intermarry Gambians are one family. Gambian boo gis wala Sénégalais boo gis boo demee 2-3 generations back di nga gis fa ngeen bokkee it doesn't matter ban tribe la jóge so te àdduna bi fi mu nekk nii dafa jaxasoo boo xam ne even America fii léegi damaa dem si grocery store dafa manqué ay food America fii in middle of Manhattan dangaa dem si grocery store doo gis mbuuru I am not kidding so problème bi nekk Gambia is not emul ci Gambia rek te is not Barrow's fault du faute nguur gi so baax na nag ñu ni neen ñu defante tànka lii yi fi nguur la rek dafa jeex te buñ seetoo ñun si cosaan fañ jógee as Sénégambian people niñ daan doxalee politics démba ak tey ni ñoo doxalee politics du benn tubaab yi ñoo ñëw indi fi seen xalaat waaye balaa tubaab bi di ñëw si suñ biir amoon nañ ay xalaat yoo xam ne moo gënoon a rafet moo gënoon a jekk honestly and it serve our people very well nañ try ñu xam suñ history ndax ñu mun a revisit suñ values because ñu bari dañoo wax waa Gambian values waaye xamuñ lan mooy Gambian values doo mun a xam Gambian values te xamuloo di history of Sénégambie so baax na ñu def façon ngi waxtaan yi ndax ñu mun cee aidante ñu mun a xam ñu mun a xàmmee ñu mun a ràññee ndax ñu mun a live in peace si weeri koor laa nekk di ñaan yàlla may ñu jàmm te nangu suñ ñaan nangu suñ koor di ñaanal tam ñi nga xam ne ñoom la yàlla def suñ kanam ñu jiite ñu ñaanal leen ndax éene biñ am yàlla mun koo sottil si jàmm doore ko si président Barrow and all the leaders ñi nga xam ne am nañ influence pour direction ni dëkk boobu noonu te suñ juuti la campagne bi jeex na élection bi jeex na xëccoo bi jeex na léegi ñiñ tànn nañ leen lii ay war a suuli nañ leen jàppale ñu nekk benn mun a yóbbu suñ réew waaye waxi xeet dafa xeju suñ biir xeju suñ biir it doesn't matter kan moo ko ikkati it doesn't matter who bu dee suñ papa la wala suñ nijaay la it doesn't matter xeet dafa xeju suñ dëkka xeju suñ dëkka because ñun ñëpp benn family lañ we are one people by blood by history and by even colonial experience in one geographical space te nit ki doo mun a xam sa real nationhood ak sa citizenship te xamuloo sa history te boo demee history ñun as a people di nga xam ne ñun ñëpp benn lañ woon so nañ reflect back and come back to those values yi nga xam ne ñoo sustainoon suñ society si balaa tubaab bi di ñëw in this 1600s I could say or 1700s balaa tubaab bi di ñëw ñun amoon nañ values yoo xam ne dañ daan interrelate because wax naa leen olof di Jolof Empire njaajaan njaay yàlla ak Maysa Waali Jon mooy Maysa Waali Maane koo xam ne Gaabu la jóge kooku moo all the kings yi nekkoon in whole entire Senegambia ne leen nañ unite under one leadership that was the first confederation in Senegambia mooy di Jolof Empire bi was a confederation nekkul ne dafa forced by expansion no it was a confederation only expansion si conquest si later la ñëw si setam yi waaye in the beginning ki sos Jolof ba tey ñuy ooyee Jolof ba ëllëg fañ nekk yang-yang seen capital bi ni ko sos yëpp soose la mandinka la mu ngi jógee Gaabu te Maane la sant xam nga loolu war naa doy waar ñu bari xamuñu woon loolu tey ñiy coow ne cosaani olof si soose la jóge so moo tax baax na ñu nekk benn and be one people assalaamu aleykum yal na yàlla nangu suñ or yal na yàlla nangu suñ ñaan yal na yàlla indi jàmm yal na yàlla defal jàmm suñ président Adama Barrow Adama hiino kayro xaw ma naka la ko boxoo de waaye yal na yàlla def jàmm si Gambia jërë ngeen jëf di leen gërëm di leen sant si li ngeen ñu déglu wasalaam